Welcome to the Brunswick Beat,
Brunswick County's only television news show brought to you by the Brunswick Beacon. I'm Rachel Johnson.
and I'm Stacy Manning. A sinkhole on Loblolly Drive in Charlotte swallowed a car last year, and now residents fear it may be a danger to school buses. Last September, David Friend was driving to work when the road disappeared beneath his vehicle. He was submerged in a sinkhole with water so deep he was unable to reach the bottom. He was forced to climb to the roof of his car and onto the hood. Now, a year later, the road is still not repaired. Loblolly Drive is privately owned, and residents and Brunswick County Schools transportation officials are trying to get the road fixed.
And speaking of buses, this week the Brunswick Beacon began a multi-part series on the bus business called Staggered Starts in Brunswick County Schools. We sat down with Superintendent Edward Pruden to get his take on the new school schedule.
Well, when we began to learn about the proposed cuts in state funding, we tried to imagine ways to save money and keep our teachers and other staff employed. And one way that 85 other school divisions in North Carolina save money is to have staggered openings and closings of schools. Brunswick County had a first-class transportation system with all of our schools opening at the same time each day. And we were paying extra money for that privilege, if you will. The state of North Carolina has a formula by which they reimburse local school divisions for their transportation expenses. And they reward efficiency and they punish inefficiency. And we had an inefficient system. While we were at the business of changing the morning and afternoon schedule, we also wanted to align our school day times with the research on teenage sleep patterns. And many school divisions across the United States are looking at the research and finding that teenagers, by their natural circadian sleep rhythms, are awake later at night and sleep later in the morning than young children. And so a number of school divisions, including one in which I've worked previously, bring the elementary children to school first.
We also caught up with Bobby Taylor, who oversees the transportation department, for a behind-the-scenes look at school transportation.
Well, there was a lot of preparation as far as making sure that the bus routes would actually fit in the time frame of doing a route before another route. We actually take two schools, we run two schools with one bus, one for the elementary at the first time, and then we take that same bus and send it back out, and it runs a middle high run.
As the series continues, we'll talk to parents, students, and teachers about the staggered start times.
Sea Trail Golf Resort and Convention Center has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Sunset Beach's Crown Jewel Mainland Resort is about $18 million in debt, which is owed to about 100 creditors. New Bern attorney Buzzy Stubbs is representing Sea Trail in the action filed Tuesday in U.S. Bankruptcy Court in Wilmington. Sea Trail Corporation consists of its convention center, its Jones, Bird, and Maple golf courses, an activity center, plus about 246 acres of undeveloped land and 49 developed lots. Sea Trail is a residential community and they are not affected by the action, and business continues at the resort and golf courses as usual.
Gerald Jerry Oakley, 83, of Ocean Isle Beach, was killed in a two-car wreck last Wednesday on North Carolina 179 in Charlotte. The wreck happened around 9:15 p.m. when Oakley attempted to turn left onto NC 179 from Briarwood Drive. His vehicle struck an oncoming car. The full impact of the wreck hit the driver's side of the 1997 Ford Oakley was driving.
Local activist Jenny Quaglia has called for DSS Director Charles Warren to step down. At Tuesday's DSS meeting, Quaglia called Warren, who is also a county commissioner, the most non-transparent public official. Adding the code of ethics Warren proposed to board members violates their right to free speech and personal action, since he has declared himself the board spokesperson.
Secondly, do you think it's ethical and accountable to citizens to change the meeting place and time so the public and staff cannot be in attendance, cannot hear, see, or participate? And the only reasons offered by you were paint and furniture at taxpayer expense. And you do this when other suitable venues have been offered to you by the county manager. You have violated open meeting laws. Again, Mr. Warren, why are you afraid of public access?
Quaglia has asked Brunswick County Commissioners to remove Warren from the DSS board.
Detectives are searching for a suspect wanted in connection with a shooting that happened around 8 p.m. Sunday, September 25th on Tree Acres Circle in Calabash. The suspect shot multiple rounds and a victim received a single gunshot wound to the leg. The suspect was described to investigators as a black male about 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighing 200 pounds, with a short haircut. He was driving a black Honda passenger vehicle. Also tonight, police are searching for a suspect involved in an assault on a woman in Calabash. A woman was assaulted by a white male suspect at her home in the Crow Creek condominiums. The suspect was described as 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing between 130 and 150 pounds, with an unshaven face. Anyone who may have seen suspicious activity in the area on this date and time or has any information about this assault or on the shooting should contact Detective Kyle Jones at the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office at 253-2777.
Detectives are also searching for suspects in an armed robbery of a supply sweepstakes cafe early last Saturday morning. Shortly after 1:30 a.m. September 24th, two males entered the Gold Strike Internet Sweepstakes Cafe on Holden Beach Road. They demanded money from employees and fled with an undisclosed amount of cash. Anyone with information is asked to contact Detective Tony Kaysen at the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office at 253-2777.
Hi, I'm Stacy Manning, Managing Editor of the Brunswick Beacon. Did you get engaged recently or married? Have you celebrated a milestone anniversary or did you have a baby? How about letting us share the news with our readers? You can email your social news to me at editor@brunswickbeacon.com or you can log on to our website at www.brunswickbeacon.com. Look for the Submit News icon near the top right-hand corner of the page. Deadlines are noon each Friday.
Welcome to the Brunswick Beat Sports Report. For the second week in a row, the West Brunswick Trojans faced a county rival. This time, it was the undefeated North Brunswick Scorpions. The Trojans, led by quarterback Taylor Buffkin, handed North its first loss, 41-28. Buffkin was named the North Carolina Farm Bureau Trojan Player of the Week. The Trojans will host East Bladen on Friday night during their homecoming. The South Brunswick Cougars celebrated homecoming by easily defeating West Bladen 48-21 last Friday in a conference football game. South is 2-0 in the conference and 5-1 overall. In West Brunswick volleyball action, the Lady Trojans' undefeated streak in conference play came to an end. South Brunswick beat West in 3 straight sets. South began the first set by dominating West and jumping to an early 5-0 lead. In non-conference play, West beat previously undefeated North Myrtle Beach. The win avenged a loss earlier in the season. The West Brunswick High School boys soccer team swept South Columbus and East Bladen, setting up a game for first place on September 28th at South Brunswick. The Trojans, 5-0 in the conference, beat South Columbus 4-0 on Monday. The Trojans entered the game off of a thrilling 3-2 overtime victory September 21st at East Bladen. West fell behind 2-0 halfway through the first half before it rallied for the victory. Find all of these stories and much more in this week's sports section of the Brunswick Beacon.
Hi, I'm Stacy Manning, Managing Editor of the Brunswick Beacon. Do you have a community event you'd like to tell our community about? You can email it to me at editor@brunswickbeacon.com or you can log on to our website at www.brunswickbeacon.com. Look for the Submit News icon near the top right-hand corner of the page. Deadlines are noon each Friday.
Hi, I'm Laura Lewis. I'm out here at Brunswick County Animal Shelter today with Miss Martha. She is a 7-year-old yellow lab. She is a stray who was found in Charlotte. She's been here since September 1st, and she's looking for a brand new good home. She is described here as sweet. She likes to eat cookies. She's good on a leash, and she loves to go outside. She's had her shots, and she's good to go. So come on out and meet Martha and all the other dogs and cats available for adoption out here at the shelter on Green Swamp Road. It's open to the public from 10 to 4, Mondays through Fridays.
A fisherman with ties to Brunswick County has been bestowed a national award for rescuing a swimmer from the Atlantic Ocean last year in North Myrtle Beach. C.P. Parker, a superintendent for Blue Sky Building of Charlotte, was recently notified he is among 25 recipients of a Carnegie Hero Medal. The rescue took place in August of 2010. 59-year-old Rick Bennett of Charlotte was swept out to sea in the Cherry Grove Inlet when Parker saved him.
Vendors and music will once again collide when the 5th annual Sunset at Sunset Festival takes place this Saturday, October 1st in Sunset Beach. Highlights include more than 100 vendors, crafters, food booths, and nonprofit groups. 3 bands are slated to perform. Festivities begin at 10 a.m. and continue until 5 p.m. The 2nd annual 5K Fun Run starts at 8 a.m. on Saturday. Also on Saturday, the Dirty South Reunion Wrestling Show is coming to the Civitan Volunteer Fire Department. Wrestlers set to take the mat include Southern Comfort, Jay Biggs, Evan Lee Devine, Bullet, and many more. Tickets are $5 at the door with all proceeds going to the fire department. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. with bell time set for 7:30 p.m.
ATMC TV and the Brunswick County Board of Education have teamed up to bring monthly board meetings to viewers on ATMC TV Channel 3. The first meeting aired on Tuesday, September 20th, and board meetings will continue to be aired 8 to 9 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday night. A new meeting will be available for viewing the second Tuesday of each month. For a current schedule of ATMC TV programming, visit www.atmctv.com and click on the What Time icon. That's all the time we have for tonight, but you can read all these stories and much more in this week's Beacon. If you know of a story or a person you'd like to see featured on Brunswick Beat, email us at brunswickbeat@brunswickbeacon.com. Look us up on Facebook under Brunswick Beacon or follow us on Twitter at Brunswick Beacon.
Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to tune in next week for a brand new edition of Brunswick Beat, Brunswick County's only television news show. Also in this week's Beacon is The New Real Women. This issue is dedicated to featuring women who were born and raised in Brunswick County. You definitely don't want to miss it, as these true women of Brunswick County share some of their secret spots and family recipes. Tonight's Beacon shines on images from the Coastal Carolina Camera Club's photo contest.